Welcome back, Emmett County. You're joined this morning with artist Judy Day. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judy. It's so nice to have you with us, and your watercolors are very pretty.
Oh, thank you very much.
And you said you've only been doing this
about 7 years.
7
years, right?
Wow,
right.
That's great. That's very, very good. What's the hardest thing about the watercolor?
Well, it's got a lot of water in it.
Yeah.
So, you know,
It
you
runs
never know.
fast.
It runs. So you never know what you're going to get, and it's kind of a surprise sometimes. Sometimes that's great.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not so great. But the excitement to me is the fact that you never know what you're going to come up with and being able to work with that, be able to use that.
So it looks like you do some landscape watercolor, maybe
Very
some
pretty.
Abstract work here.
Actually, this is on a special kind of paper. This is on yupo paper, which is slick, and the watercolors sit on top, and so you can take off and put on the paint rather than having it soak into the paper.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
so this particular kind of paper is kind of new, and it's kind of a challenge, but that's what makes it fun. It's kind of like a puzzle.
Yeah, no
Being able
kidding.
to,
That's very
play
pretty.
with it.
And then these look like beautiful tulips.
Yes, just a
Now you did,
traditional on
it's
paper.
the same paper?
No, this
is different,
this
so
is-
it soaks in.
This is regular watercolor paper.
Great.
When you start doing a watercolor, do you start with a pencil to kind of get your basic layout together, and then you work from there?
I usually start with a sketch and photograph sometimes, or that example right there, I actually painted out there on site, and then brought it back and finished it in my studio.
Very pretty.
Is watercolor something that somebody with little experience can get into, or?
I think so. A lot of people are really afraid of watercolors because it does have that surprise element to it. But you know, if you like a challenge, that's where you want to go.
I've seen people take and put the different colors on the thing and take a straw and blow in the paper, and it goes all over the place, and it's beautiful. It's
yeah.
really, really pretty.
You can do so much with it. Not so much like painting over the top of. You kind of have to think about anything that's white. It's the paper. So you have to have a puzzle in your mind thinking about how I'm going to keep the colors bright and keep the white in the paper,
Right, because
as the paper to show through.
Pastels. Everybody assumes watercolors, the pastels or whatever, but they're not. There's some very, very vibrant, bright colors, and it's really, really pretty when you see the end result. But
Right.
I would think watercolors is probably one of the hardest.
I think people think it's one of the hardest. Personally, it's one of my. I mean,
That's
it's my
pretty.
sort of my passion, I guess. And every place I go. So I was on a trip to New Mexico, so I had to paint in New Mexico.
Right, you can
Great.
see a lot of the reds in the background there.
Now, Judy, you said that you taught.
Yes, I taught school for 25 years in Southern California at a middle
Yosemite?
school. Yosemite.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Up there by Glacier Point.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually, exactly.
When you get a vision, do the colors just pop in your mind? You know exactly what you're going to do, or obviously with landscapes, it's different. Your colors are done for you because you eyeball them and you put them on paper. But when you have like something like flowers or whatever, do you have the flowers there, or you just go by what you feel?
I like to paint from the real thing, so usually I have something as a reference. But sometimes I'll look at it and I think it would be better if it was in a different color. So then I'll add colors or change the color so that it pops out more or has a different feel to it.
Do you do like maybe sometimes like some people they do like an outline first, like when you're doing flowers, or you just go for it?
No, I often will, in fact, most of the time I'll put a sketch on the paper first.
Okay.
Different with the yupo paper, you can't really do that.
Okay.
You just have to go for it.
Wow.
Jump in with both feet.
You currently showing at the Sutter Creek Gallery?
I am currently showing at the Sutter
Great.
Creek Gallery, and that's in downtown Sutter Creek. And we have, well, there's, I guess, 30 artists that show their work there. And I work there a day a week because I'm one of the co-op artists. And there's art for everyone there. I mean, there's watercolors, there's
Beautiful.
every
You
kind.
name it. You
Yeah.
name it.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked in oil?
I have not worked in oil since college. It was not my favorite thing to do, so one shot at it and I was done.
See, that's amazing. For me, I still color crayons, paint by number. That'd be me. But and color books and color crayons as far as I go, because I have no artistic in me. He's a great photographer, as you know, and does beautiful work. But I bet you'd be great at doing. I bet you'd be great doing it at stuff like this. Taking one of your like the one of the old truck, and putting that on with watercolor.
If there was more time, maybe.
Yeah, I know. Well,
but I tell you what, I can sure appreciate when I see watercolor. When I go to the county fair, I like to check out the watercolor entries.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
And see that, and it's always nice to see a place that I'm familiar with.
Oh, well, good.
So you're going to be showing down there for how long?
Well, since I'm a co-op member, I'm there all the time.
Great.
All the time.
And
right?
give them the hours.
10 to 6 on Fridays and 11 to 5 Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Thursday also.
Oh, great.
Same, 11 to
Good.
5.
So get down there.
Hey, we're going to run to an ad break. We'll be back with the closing. Everybody's here. Stay tuned.